It's time to talk about Samuel Opoku, a man who is known as the Peepy Poo Poo Man.
Oh, come on!
Samuel, or the Peepy Poo Poo Man, was let off the hook by a stupid judge. You see, Samuel went on a spree, a multi-day spree, where he threw buckets of liquefied feces and urine on random people. Mostly students at University of Toronto and York University, including a young girl and people in a library. All of this took place back in 2019. Now, during his little spree of spray, he managed to drench 5 people before being grabbed by the police. But wouldn't you know it, the judge overseeing his case took the concerns of Peepy Poo Poo Man's lawyers, who claimed that he was mentally ill, and after just 3 weeks in jail, awaiting trial, he was released on $1,000 bail.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Not only that, though, Samuel received a suspended sentence, meaning he was convicted, but he received no jail time for his crimes, and he got 2 years probation. So, because this so-called Peepy Poo Poo Man was deemed to be mentally ill, he was allowed to throw feces and urine on his victims and would get nothing but probation, no jail time. Now, my friends, as you can imagine, as often happens in these kinds of cases where you have stupid, retarded judges who decide to use laws that protect the so-called mentally ill, the ramifications of this lack of enforcement would soon be discovered a few years later because guess what? He's back in the news. This is from the California Post by Chris Nessie. They write, notorious vagrant known as Peepy Poo Poo Man, I can't believe I'm having to say this in a sentence, arrested on horrifying new charges. Oh no! A homeless deviant who terrorized Toronto with a series of vile poop bucket attacks back in 2019 has now been arrested in connection with 2 alleged sexual assaults, according to police. Color me not surprised. Samuel Opoku, now 30, a vagrant whose grotesque fecal assaults earned him the nickname the Peepy Poo Poo Man in a 2024 indie film chronicling the malodorous crime spree, was picked up on May 12th and charged with 2 counts of sexual assault and indecent exposure. In this latest first incident on May 9th, a group of women were walking on the sidewalk when he approached them and made sexual advances towards one of the women and grabbed her forearm. He then allegedly assaulted her and fled the scene. A day later, he followed another woman into a commercial office building and allegedly assaulted her after approaching her from behind before running away again. Cops said neither victim knew the Peepy Poo Poo Man and they did not sustain injuries. Here is a look at this gentleman. Court documents confirm the suspect is the same man previously busted for the fecal attacks, according to the Toronto Today. Oh boy. So this is what you get. This is what you get when you don't enforce punishments upon these creepy weirdos. Samuel Opoku, or Opoku, or whatever, this piece of human debris garbage, is part of the 2% of society who doesn't belong among society. You have the criminally insane, the people who actively are looking for violence, the mentally ill, and these people should not be allowed to associate in free, polite societies because they bring terror everywhere they go. In fact, I'm of the opinion that people with mental illness should find themselves in a much greater compounding sentence than just someone who committed a crime off rip. If they're too mentally ill to serve trial, fine. They get to stay in a mental institution until they're deemed mentally well. And if they ever get deemed mentally well enough to go back into society, then they get to serve their sentence. And then maybe after that, they can be released back to polite society. You need to lock these people up and throw away the key if you want this kind of behavior to end. The reason why we live in a world today where violence has become normalized is because we keep allowing this despicable behavior to go on unabated. We allow these animals to terrorize innocent people, and we have judges who actively protect and promote them and ensure that they remain free. We need to stop protecting people like this Samuel Opoku. We need to stop protecting these useless predators. They have no value to society. Why are they allowed to remain free? Lock them up and throw away the key is what I say. Now, I think eventually we will reach a breaking point where citizens of the free world will eventually demand the incarceration of animals like the Peepy Poo Poo Man, who are constantly engaging in criminal behavior. But until then, I guess we just have to endure people like Samuel Opoku living among us.